Welcome to Wanderlust and Wishes, the podcast where we explore the world one destination at a time.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Krystle.
As travel agents with fantastical vacations, we are here to share our passion for travel and help you turn your wanderlust into reality.
From hidden gems to bucket list adventures, join us as we dive into the sights, sounds, and stories of our favorite destinations.
So grab your passport, pack your bags, and let's embark on this journey together. Welcome back, everybody, to Wanderlust and Wishes, episode 2. Very exciting. Thank you all that listened to the first episode, and you are back with us today.
Yay, thank you. If you couldn't tell, we're going to be kind of heavy on the Disney, but we both have lots of trips planned through the end of the year. I know we're going to both hit Universal, maybe some cruising. I'm heading to Cancun next month and visiting some all-inclusive, so we'll share all those things. So just bear with us as we figure it out.
So let's dive in. First, today, we wanted to cover some of the news that's come out, just a few things. We don't want to spend too much time on it, but there are a couple of things with Disney Cruise Line, Universal, that are really big news and cool things to share. A lot of you probably already realize that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is opening on June 28th.
This is so exciting because we're going to be there.
Right. And we're hoping that we're going to be able to get on when we're there. But it's going to be interesting because there's two options. There's two ride options.
Yeah, so, I think it surprised everybody because I have a flight that leaves that afternoon that I have to get to. So I was banking on being able to pick my time with an individual lightning lane, and we don't have that option.
Right.
So I think it's just kind of
two, which are Genie Plus, which shocked everyone, like you just said. Instead of individual lightning lane, they're doing Genie Plus and then virtual queue, which everybody did expect.
It's going to kind of be like the Hunger Games at 7 a.m., basically.
It is going to be for sure. Right. So Krystle and I have already added each other to our My Disney Experience app. So we're both going to be, one of us is going to be in charge of the virtual queue and one of us is going to be in charge of Genie Plus. And hopefully we get one of the two and we're able to do it before Krystle has to go get on her flight for that afternoon.
The next one we're going to have, I know we've seen Animal Kingdom has pulled some permits for probably Dino Land, I think is what everybody's assuming. Mm-hmm. And the rumor is it's going to be like South American, Equator-ish, Encanto, maybe Coco, that kind of thing.
Maybe. Yeah, I think there's a couple of there's potential like different themings that are there's nothing that's set in stone or nothing that's been confirmed, but the permit for sure has been. And the permit is for basically the Imagineers to have their trailers on site to then do the design work. So they're not actually starting true construction on the land yet. That will, once that starts, like there definitely should be some type of announcement that tells us exactly what it's going to be. But things are starting, things are happening, which is very exciting.
I'm not going to hold my breath that's going to be anything soon, as we just saw with Tron. But hopefully, because Dino Land's it's sad looking and in need of an upgrade. So hopefully that'll be exciting.
Yeah, it is. It looks like, it basically looks like an abandoned amusement park. It's what Dino Land looks like right now. It's very sad. So we have some news about Disneyland. Do you want to talk about that news?
Yes. Fantasmic is returning. The poor dragon caught fire, a year ago, basically?
No, I can't believe it's been a year. I feel like it just happened like yesterday. And whenever they said it's been a year ago, that's insane.
So, yes. Did you get a chance to watch it when you were out there for spring break last year?
I did not. Definitely.
It's actually a lot better, like setup wise. Kind of think like watching EPCOT, the nighttime spectacular, because you can kind of just find a spot on the rail around the water. instead of like being in the amphitheater. The only downside is you're not guaranteed like a seat,
Yeah.
but I do like it better out there.
Do they have dining packages though, like Disney
Yes, they
World does?
do.
So if they have dining packages, that does guarantee you a seat. You just have to pay extra for it, basically. But
Yes, but they have some good ones. Like I saw like a breakfast one, so you could go get breakfast and then for the show you're guaranteed a seat in a special viewing area. So,
that reopened on May 24th. So it's reopened now for anybody that's in Disneyland. Fun times.
well, and just in time for the Disneyland also released the $50 kids deal.
Yeah.
This is a very confusing deal. A good reason to use a travel agent because even I had to read through it a couple times to understand it, but basically it's $50 per day during the week, and then it's a little more on the weekends, and then adults are like 84, but then there's like select dates that don't apply, but it is for most of the summer, like June to September, so some of Halloween is like wrapped in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of confusing, but if you can find the days that work, it's worth it, and it's a great deal.
Yeah. I know that there have been several agents within our agency, Fantastical Vacations, that have saved their clients hundreds of dollars by being able to apply this promo. So, yeah, that's a very good reason to have a travel agent on your side to help you when these things pop up, and they can always apply the promotion and save you some money. So the other thing that we are really excited about, because we get to see it when we are in Disney World in the end of this month, or the end of this month. It'll be this month. By the time this gets posted, it'll be the end of this month. Is the Droid show at Disney Springs. And the pictures and video that we've seen coming out of, on Disney, the Disney blog, and also on the different social media platforms of people that have seen it and they filmed it. Oh my gosh, it's so neat. Really, it definitely got me really excited to see some of the footage that has been posted already.
I'm really excited about this. And I know a lot of people have been wondering for years because Disneyland Paris has a droid show.
Yeah.
So I know that a lot of people have asked, like, why can't you bring that here? So maybe this is like their testing to maybe move it into the parks because it's over the water. So if something falls, it's not going to hurt anybody. So I'm excited to see what all is in store for that.
So the next thing I'm going to talk about is with Universal. They have a new DreamWorks land that opens in, I believe, June 14th.
Yeah, it's right before we're there.
Yeah. So we're excited because we're going to have a day at Universal. And so that we'll get to see that. It has all kinds of fun things. It has new little coasters. I think it's a Trolls coaster. And they have Shrek and Kung Fu Panda. So everything that I've seen from those that have been posting about it, because they have had previews for annual pass holders, that it looks super cute, and the interactions with the characters and the shows. They also have a new show that they have that has the Trolls and some of the other DreamWorks characters, and it just looks super cute. So I'm excited to see that and experience it in person.
Yes, I'm excited for my little kids because we've thought about doing Universal with them, but like
That's a good point.
Reese and Harper probably aren't quite old enough for a lot of it. Calder would be no problem, but something like this would make it a lot more doable because there's more for them, justify the price of admission for Harper.
Right. Yeah. So right for now, that's all the news that we have. We will continue to have a little short news segment at the beginning of the podcast every week to keep you all up to date. Today, as we get into our topic, we are going to do if you can choose one, or if you had to choose one thing series. And today we're going to go through that for EPCOT World Showcase.
Yes. So hopefully if you guys like this, we can continue on to other parks and other lands. I always get asked from clients and even just friends, like, if you could only eat one place at EPCOT, where would you eat?
Right.
So hopefully this is like a good, just, I don't know, something that you can refer back to. And if you've heard us talk about it, then when you're in the heat of the day and you're hangry and you can be like, oh, I heard about this. Let's try this. It's at least someone likes it. So
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So we're going to kick it off with our favorite ride. So, Krystle, what ride, if you had to pick in the World Showcase, what ride would you choose?
we're going to Frozen. We're a Frozen family. We do like Remy, the Ratatouille ride, but it is a screen ride. And it's cute, but I just like with the baby and the glasses and trying to wrangle all that,
Right. Yeah,
given the
because you have the
two,
3D glasses
yes,
that you have to wear.
we're gonna pick Frozen. And the Frozen is the one that we try to like rope drop and then get a genie for and ride twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like Remy's is great and we'll ride it if it's available. I'm not standing in line for 2 hours to ride it.
No, me either. Yeah, if we're looking at World Showcase, Frozen Ever After is also going to be what I would choose, or what we would choose as a family. My husband actually, he'll probably say no because my husband does not like Frozen, but we kind of drag him along. He says that it's a poor mimic of Pirates of the Caribbean. Like he does not he doesn't he just doesn't like Frozen. He doesn't like the characters. But we my girls grew up with Frozen, and it's great. I think it's a great little ride. And for Remy's, I know Remy's is the new, more popular ride. And like Krystle said, people are waiting in line for 2 hours. Yeah, no. I don't have any desire to ride Remy's. I will ride it if there's availability and other people want to go. But I I don't, it gives me motion sickness.
I
Even
was gonna
when I
ask
have
about that.
Dramamine, like the 3D and like the spinning around and all of the things, I don't know what it is, or it might just be also like the perspective, because you're supposed to be on the floor. You're supposed to be like a small rat on the floor. And for whatever reason, it's just not fun for me. The couple of times that I've ridden it, it has not made me feel very good. So there is another ride that I want to just toss in there. It's not the one that I would still choose Frozen over this ride, but we always do go to the Tres Amigos ride. Is that what it's called? The ride
I
that's
do love
in,
that one.
huh?
Yes.
Isn't it cute? I love that ride. I mean, we love the ride, and that was one of the rides that our girls loved when we brought them when they were smaller. They loved to ride it. Like, we rode it multiple times in a row because there wasn't necessarily a wait. I think it's become more popular and there's more of a wait now, but it's, yeah, I love that ride.
On our last trip, Reese was so excited to go on the Donald boat, and then she slept
Aw.
through it all.
So, okay. So moving on to the next topic in World Showcase, our must-have food.
Yes.
What is going to be your must-have food?
Well, so this is interesting because of the festival booths. And we've always gone during a festival, and that's always our like top pick. And we'll share and we'll have a couple bites of something, move on to the next one, have a couple bites. When we go in June, there's just going to be no festival. It's going to be bizarre. So, festivals aside, for quick service, I thought about picking Regal Eagle, the smokehouse in America. But as I was going through the menu, they took off the thing that we like. So I don't know if that's like a permanent thing. So it was burnt ends and onion rings on mac and cheese on top of seasoned french fries. So it was like a full meal, but it was so good. It was a lot, but we also shared. But that's not on there anymore. So now I'm sad. But our other tried and true is the La Cantina de San Angel Inn in Mexico.
Mhm.
So this is across from the pyramid on the water. And we get the either the taco trio or the shrimp tacos because you will all learn very quickly. I'm obsessed with tacos and get them everywhere I go.
Oh, that sounds really good. So, you guys are going to learn that I don't usually follow the rules completely. Krystle's like, I said this is our topic. And of course, I like go off course.
It's okay.
So I'm probably cheating a little bit because this is not technically within World Showcase, but it is right outside of World Showcase. Usually we're going to try to grab a reservation at Beaches and Cream because I mean the food there is good and obviously the ice cream is phenomenal. Sometimes we just do it. We just go for the ice cream because when you eat there and you get ice cream, you can't move when you leave because you're so full or you're so full from the food that you can't eat the ice cream and you feel like you need to eat the ice cream because you just ordered it. But they have a brownie sundae and gluten-free version
Oh, yeah.
and it's so good. They also have, and I'm completely blanking on the name of it. I'm going to get in so much trouble from my husband because this is his favorite and it's also gluten free, but it's this giant, like peanut butter. It's ice cream with peanut butter sauce and peanut butter chips, I think, and chocolate chips and chocolate sauce. It's so good. It's gigantic as well. Like it seriously is like as big as a small child's head. Like it's really big. So but if I were to pick, if I did, like, if I actually followed the rules and I stayed inside of World Showcase, I would pick Via Napoli. That's usually like, if I had to pick a spot in there, that's where I would eat. Now, what, what snack would you choose? So outside of quick service or table service, if you had to get a snack, because as you were just saying, the festivals and things, there's like Epcot's well known for their snacks and different types of foods.
Hmm. Every trip we end up at, I'm going to butcher this, L'Artisan de Glace. Glass. I know
I think
that's
I think
horrible.
that sounds like perfection. You did a great job.
This is in France. It's kind of tucked back on the way to La Halle, and the kids usually get ice cream, and then we grab the croque glacé, which is a scoop of ice cream with sauce in like a homemade brioche bun, and then they press it kind of in like a waffle maker
Yeah,
type
they like
thing.
smush it and seal it.
Yes. And I've heard of this getting a lot of flack from people lately. Have you seen some of this?
No, I've only heard good things about it. I can't have it because of the gluten, so I'm jealous of every time I see somebody have it.
I've There's been 3 or 4 pages recently that have come up on my Instagram and they're like, why did everybody pick this? This is gross. But I think people overcomplicate it and you can't get fancy. It just needs to be simple, kind of like a fruit pie or a turnover.
Right.
So some that we liked are like a raspberry ice cream with chocolate sauce. Or when we were there in September, they had an apple cinnamon ice cream with caramel sauce for like a fall one.
Yeah.
So if you do this, just don't try to go fancy. Just be simple. But it's really good. And since it's sealed, the ice cream isn't melting everywhere. So it's a good, like, sweet and savory little treat.
Yeah, it sounds so delicious. I'm seriously like jealous of everyone that has it. And yeah, I think if you put like a weird combo together, you try to do something that's like too crazy or fancy, like you said, it's probably just the flavors didn't mix. And
Yeah. What
so
about you? Where are you going?
we cannot leave Epcot without going to, and I'm probably going to butcher this too, and my husband that has a German background, I'm going to say this wrong. We have to visit Caramel Couche. I think that's the way to say it in Germany. It's a chocolate and caramel shop. It is so good. We go every time. And my husband always gets the salted caramel, dark chocolate salted caramel squares. Usually, and I say squares plural because we get more than one so that he can take them back with him after, we can bring them home. My girls usually get they kind of switch around. They can, but caramel apple. Sometimes they get a cookie, like a cookie sandwich. Trying to think of some of the other things they get, but I always get a turtle. So
Oh, yum.
it's the pecans with caramel and chocolate on top, melted on top. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's the best thing ever.
So when
Yeah.
we were there last time, because one of our fellow agents, Alex, talks about these all the time, she has people ship them to her when she had like clients and friends that go.
Mhm.
The what's it even called now? Let me find it on the menu. The Is it the caramel snickerdoodle cookie sandwich
Yes, I think
with the
so.
salted caramel buttercream and the caramel drizzle?
Yeah, I think one of my daughters got that last time.
It was so good.
hmm Pretty sure she got a some kind of cookie sandwich, and it was like, and it's massive.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super humongous. And the other thing that I generally I leave with multiple bags of their caramel popcorn because they make it in-house. It's so good. It's far above and beyond any popcorn you'll get anywhere else, caramel popcorn. Like, I'm sorry, Goofy's Kitchen, your popcorn is very subpar.
Well, and it has the Werther's caramel, so
Exactly.
can't beat that.
No, you cannot. You cannot at all. Okay. So, moving on to attractions or entertainment, what would you choose from Epcot World Showcase?
Okay, so we've never really done a lot of the like shows. Every country has like
hmm
the circle vision or something.
Yes.
I don't think my kids would sit through them. So we've just never really done them. We always do the festival scavenger hunts. So you can go like buy the card for like $10 and get the prize when you buy the card. So you don't have to go
Of
back.
course. Yeah, you're doing it for the prize, right?
Yes. So then they have like, depending on the festival, like little Remy Ratatouille rats hidden around, or they have like Spike the Bee, or does Figment have one maybe for festivals, the arts?
Yeah, I think so for sure.
And so then you put like little stickers on and it kind of keeps the kids engaged. And you don't have to finish it all, but it's just something they can keep their eye on. If we don't have a festival and you do have littles, do the kid cost stops. Those are fun. Every country has people from that country working. In the Japan pavilion, we had a cute little girl writing everybody's names in Japanese as part of their kid caught stop.
Oh, that's so
So
fun.
they got a little stamp in their on their little paper, and they have like a little bag that you can keep them all in. And there's like activities like they can do a coloring page, or like I said in Japan, they're writing their names. So it was kind of educational too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's to
that
help them
was
learn about the culture of each
yes.
of those
So
areas.
we we thought that was fun, and we'll probably like we didn't finish all of them, so I have them all, and I'll probably take them back and do it again next time. But it kind of keeps them engaged and like, oh, this is boring. Another building, another store. What are we doing? They kind of
Right.
keep their eyes peeled for the little kid cost stops.
Yeah, I always recommend KidCot to my clients that when that have smaller kids that I mean, I like to do the KidCot things.
Yeah.
I think they're fun. I think it's neat to learn about the different cultures. So, but that is definitely something I always recommend because it's a really neat experience for the kids to understand what the different countries mean because they may not know when you get
Yeah.
there. So for us, since my kids are a little bit older, lately, our biggest thing is we really do like to stay for the fireworks at Epcot. we like the shows at Epcot. And because we're on a Skyliner resort, because we stay at a Skyliner resort, even if we're not, if we have a park hopper, even if we're not at, Epcot that morning, if we go somewhere and we would in the morning, and then we would just rather come back to Epcot that night and watch the fireworks, you just jump on the Skyliner right before, maybe 30, 45 minutes before the show starts, and you're there, and there's really not a bad spot. I think you mentioned this during our last episode. There's not a really bad spot in Epcot. You can see their shows and the fireworks from pretty much anywhere. So that's generally what we're going to do. We're going to come back and do that.
It's such a fun fireworks show. I'm excited to see it from our vantage point in a couple weeks. We watched it from the Odyssey building over spring break.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to kind of compare and contrast, but it's not like the last show where they had projections on
the
water.
That made it a little harder because you did miss pieces if you weren't in specific spots that were kind of centered. You were right, looking at it, centered on it. But we typically watch from the World Showcase side just because we come in on that side and we kind of just go find a spot and stand and watch. And speaking of, I'm very glad. I know that it was a really great show, but I'm really glad that they've removed those barges and they've moved on.
They're still kind of there, but they're just not as big and cumbersome. And then they bring them in and out.
Right. The really huge barges that were there. And you're right. Yeah, we actually, the last time when we were there in December, we had to stop because they lifted the bridge between, I don't remember, it's like right around when you're in what is that spot called, where it's like they have like the Indiana Jones stuff. There's a spot where there's a bridge and they lifted the bridge up.
We had one, maybe it's the same spot, kind of between the refreshment outpost and China. That bridge?
The outpost. That's what they have Indiana Jones stuff there. I don't know why.
I didn't realize that.
I don't know why I think that. The look you gave me, you were like, I don't know what you're talking about. But they do. They have Indiana Jones merchandise in that area.
That's the most random place for it. But okay.
That's just, for whatever reason, that's what stuck in my head, and I could not think of what it was called. But yes, it's the refreshment outpost. That is what it's called. Not the Indiana Jones area, in case you are wondering. Oh my goodness. So, well, that is all that we have for today. If you love our podcast, please give it a like, and we're happy to keep going and keep entertaining you with our shenanigans.
We got lots of fun things planned. So share us, please.
Absolutely. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Wanderlust and Wishes.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform.
And remember, the world is full of wonders waiting to be explored. Until next time, happy travels.
Bye for now.